Welcome to the Inspiration for an Empowered Life podcast, sponsored by the Image Designers. They will help you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. Now, here's your host, the Image Master, Holly Porter.
Hello, listeners. Welcome back to another podcast we're having today. And I am so excited that you're here to join us because I have another fabulous guest. I always have fabulous guests. And so I have Rebecca Hall Gruyter with me. How are you?
I'm great. Excited to be here with all of you.
I'm so excited to get you. We've been working on getting this scheduled for a while, and the day has come.
Exactly.
So joining us. I'm going to read a little short bio, and then I'm going to have you help me out with some of the cool stuff that you're doing here. Rebecca specializes in highlighting experts, influencers, messengers, and events to help them reach more people around the world. She is committed to helping you reach more people in multi-platform medium approach so that you can share your message, vision, and expertise with the world in a positive, heart-centered, and transformational way, because she believes the world needs more of you. I love that.
Exactly. I love that too. I'm going to incorporate that, more of you.
You.
Beautiful. Exactly. Yes.
Oh, well, a lot of people will just be listening to us, but we also are recording in video. So we just pointed in case you wondered what we were doing. We weren't flipping anybody off. Just
No.
We're pointing the finger in a very kind way.
Yes.
So share a little bit about your companies and that you founded, and a little bit more about that.
Sure. So I'm in different types of media and platforms, and the reason I do that is because I feel like the more ways we can come together and touch people, whether it's in an audio format, a picture format, in the written word, this helps us reach more people in a more effective, layered way, because everybody hears information differently, everybody connects differently. So the more ways we're reaching our people, the stronger connections we can have. So just to kind of list some of those platforms,
I love that. Yeah.
I'm the CEO of RHG Media Productions, and we are the founder and owner of a magazine that's internationally published. We're also have launched a television network that just launched this past year, so that's also reaching the world. I'm the network director of VoiceAmerica on the Women's Channel, both TV and radio. And I'm trying to think of what else. Produce television shows and live events. And so I think it's a beautiful combination to have messengers and authors and speakers be able to reach people through radio, through podcasts, through television, through live events. That's how we can make a difference, one heart, one connection at a time.
Yes. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Is it odd to be always on the other end? I mean, because you probably see both sides as a guest and as having guests.
One of the things that I created is the speaker talent search, and that's why, because I've had the privilege of being on both sides. I've also been very blessed to have endless speaking opportunities since I started speaking, and I looked at that and I realized not everybody has that experience. So I thought, how can I help speakers get more opportunities effectively that will help them reach more people? And then when I talk to other people that have television shows, that have radio shows, that have podcasts, that have live events, they also were struggling in finding the right speakers, the right talent, the right voices for their particular opportunities. So these two parties are having difficulty meeting. And some of it is the speakers don't always know how to get through the gatekeepers. What's the best way to connect? The people that have stages and platforms are getting inundated every week, every event, by speakers wanting to be on their stages. And they don't always know how to sort through all of those applications to find the right speakers. And so the speaker talent search brings those parties together. But what I do want to assure messengers out there, there's a huge need for what each of you is offering. Every speaker talent search, we have thousands of opportunities we're looking to fill every single time. And there's some of those opportunities that go unfilled. So I
Yeah.
want to share with you there are more opportunities out there than messengers and speakers that are ready and willing to step into them. So if you're ready and willing, there are opportunities for you.
I hear that a lot from people, that they're always looking for those opportunities, and and myself as well. You're always looking. It's like if that's what you do, that's what you do.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
I've been on the other end of it where I've been in search for speakers and
mm-hmm.
not knowing where to go. So I really appreciate that fact that you have done that, because I think that's a great resource for people to be able to contact and know how. And so I think getting that
Exactly.
message out, yes, is big.
Mm-hmm.
And connecting. I'm all about connecting. That's my whole world. So I love what you're doing. So why do you do what you do? Can you share a little bit about
Again,
that?
there's actually two reasons that I do what I do. So one of them is I came from a very unhealthy childhood where it was unsafe.
Mm.
And I experienced things that a little girl should just never, ever experience. And in that environment, when I cried out for help, I wasn't believed, and it became more severe. So I decided I must not matter, that there's something wrong with me. I'm not okay. Something about me is causing this. And so I learned to smile really big and act like everything was okay when it was not. And one of the biggest lessons I learned was it was not safe to be seen or heard. And I was eventually rescued, for which I'm very grateful. I'm just so grateful for. And I went on a healing journey, because it's a journey. But what helped me every step of the way were people that would pour truth into me, that would encourage me, that would inspire me. I learned that I was lovable because I was loved.
Yeah.
I learned that I did matter, that it wasn't my fault, and that it is actually safe to be seen and heard, that I'm actually beautifully and wonderfully made like each and every one of you.
Mm-hmm.
But if nobody had shared that truth with me, I would not know it. So we as messengers and speakers and experts in whatever walk of life we are in, we have the opportunity every single day to touch another life and pour truth into them.
Yeah.
Oh, I want others around the world to know they matter. Because what hurts my heart when I look out into the world is I see men and women still believing those lies.
Every day.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
I want them to know the truth. And this is why I believe the biggest gift that I can bring the world is you and messengers. What they need is more of you. I'm happy to share my voice, my message, my shows, but I'm not the only voice that is needed. So if we can create these platforms, if we can create these opportunities, so more of you can reach more people around the world, that makes the world a better place.
I'll piggyback off that. My saying is, you are enough.
Mm-hmm.
It goes right along with that.
Yes.
You don't think you can be seen, but if you know you're enough, then it's okay to be seen.
Mm, yes.
Yeah, that's
Underlined.
great
Exclamation
message. I
point.
love that.
Love it.
So why would you say that the visibility is important for people?
Invisibility is, I have found such an interesting thing to work through, especially for myself when I wanted to be invisible. Like that was my secret desire. I wanted to hide because it wasn't safe. And standing up and saying my name in front of more than two people was terrifying for me. Like that was incredible visibility for me. And I find each of us, as we start stepping out a little bit more,
Uh-huh.
we become more visible, we can become more vulnerable or feel like we're becoming more vulnerable. Yet we have this huge desire to make a difference around the world. And I just have a quick example. When
Yeah.
I first had the seed planted that I wanted to be a motivational speaker, it was at this huge Women's of Faith conference, thousands of women coming together. I'd never experienced anything like that. And this little tiny stage and the big jumbotron, and they were going up there, women of all different shapes and sizes, sharing their stories. And I felt shifting in my heart. And I started to have this hope planted that maybe my story could actually be used for good.
Yeah.
And I saw hearts around me being transformed. So I rushed home that conference high, and I told my mom, I know what I want to be when I grow up. My arms are, flailing, animation. I want to be a motivational speaker, just waiting for her to see the vision I saw. And she said, honey, that's wonderful. She put her arm around me and she goes, but you do understand that means you actually have to get up on a stage and speak. And I hadn't connected those dots. I wanted the transformation. I wanted to see the change, but I didn't necessarily want to have to be seen to do it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us feel that way. And then the other side I see is we're just burning for others to know what we stand for. Why aren't they calling me? I could help. I can help them and make a change in the world. This is what I do. And we get a little bit frustrated that the world doesn't see us.
Yeah.
When I go out there and I ask people, do you want to make a positive difference in the world for your passing there, living your life, whether it's on stage or not? Do you want to make a positive difference? Almost everyone raises their hands.
Yeah.
And then I say, how many of you feel like people know exactly what you stand for? That when that issue comes up, you are number one on the speed dial. They know you are the go-to person to help them with this. Very few people raise their hands.
Yeah.
And I think some of it is we are waiting to be discovered.
That happens for very few people.
Exactly. We have to lead it. If we want to shift that, our desire is way up high. We want to make this big difference. And our visibility is only partway there. We're the only ones that can shift that. We have to take charge, lead our visibility, initiate that, not wait for someone else to find us.
Okay, so that leads me into the next question. What do they do? What do people do to become visible? Like what's the secret sauce?
The secret sauce. I love this. So you want to have a plan. That's the what I can tell you. So you need to look at a couple of things. One, where you're at right now. Where are you seen? What is your circle of reach? How many different platforms are you being seen on? How are you finding your people? Mm-hmm. But here's the extra credit, bonus, critical question. You're here. If this is your current reach, you've discovered that. Where are the people you're trying to reach? Then you go there. Yeah. Don't wait for them to come to you. And I will tell you, if you have a big calling on your heart, if you have a big mission, that place where the people are that you are called to reach will typically be outside your comfort zone. They do not tend to overlap.
No, because we live in our comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. We've already reached those people. So we need to be willing to become what we need to become to reach who we're called to reach. Be willing to experience a little bit of discomfort. Yeah. A little bit of learning new things so they can reach the people that desperately need what we have to offer. And I want to tell you, this is an everyday life, whether you're called to be on a stage and speak and write or not. Mm-hmm. Every day you can choose to connect and echo something forward that matters to you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you there. Well, I know what a giver you are, Rebecca, and I know you share a lot of things, and we had talked, prior to this that you had a special gift or something you would like to share with the listeners, and I'm sure everyone listening would love to have it. So how would they go about getting that from you?
I would love, and I actually have two gifts that I would love to share if I could.
Yeah.
So the first one is an ebook that talks about I will you? Mm-hmm. And it really helps support us through that mindset, that shift when fear comes up, not if. How do we navigate through that? How do we keep saying yes and step forward? So that's the first gift that I wanted to share. Okay. And do you want me to share the link? I can
share the link, and then I'll also post it below. So if they go to find it, but yeah, go ahead and share it.
Okay, perfect. It's at my website, which is yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Again, that's yourpurposedrivenpractice.com, just like the business name. Okay. And then /books.
Love it.
You will see that book. It's in the empowerment category. And then the second gift that I wanted to share with all of you is actually the speaker talent search. And this is one of my biggest gifts that I love to share out there in the world. It's the process of helping you get ready, become ready, and be seen by decision makers that have opportunities. So if you go to speakertalentsearch.com, you're going to find all the details. We hold these searches 5 times a year, but here's what can shift the game for you. So whether you decide to apply or not, if you start the process and you get the questionnaire sent to you, there are 18 questions. I find when you know the answers to those questions, you will be heard differently. People that have stages will understand what you're bringing forward more effectively, more powerfully, and you will be ready. Not getting ready to get ready to someday bring your message forward, but really being ready. And many people that just go through the questionnaire because of that shift start getting speaking opportunities, even if they never turn them in and complete the application process. So I really want to encourage you, all of your listeners.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. You know, it reminds me of a quick story I'll share. I haven't shared this. It just happened last year. We paid a gal. I was helping a friend of mine with a technology project, and we paid a gal that does pitching $5,000 for a pitch. But you know what? It wasn't heartfelt, and she didn't understand the technology. So the research she did was so like basic stuff that we were saying that everybody knew. So it was like, and you know, I was so caught up in the moment that I couldn't step back and really see. And so by working with other people, that's fine. But it's also use your heart, because I felt like I trusted her more than I should have. And it blew some big opportunities, you know. I mean, we have 4 patents on this technology, and she didn't mention those till we were almost done. And so it was in front of like a little Shark Tank group, big people. And they were like, why didn't you say that in the beginning? You know, just some things like that. So it was a huge learning experience, which I am grateful for at a huge expense.
Yes.
So I love that you shared that. And I think just those 18 ideas that you have are questions, right?
Yeah, 18 questions.
Yeah.
And just don't wait till last minute. That's my biggest tip I can give people, because you'll get out of it what you put into it. If you just kind of answer them and you're frustrated or irritated, that comes through. So
it really does. Yeah.
It does. Give
Be
yourself
prepared,
space.
you know? Yeah.
And,
preparations. Some people are naturals, but you know, preparation's huge. So we're about ready to wrap up. We have a couple more minutes. I just wondered if, you know, you're such a heartfelt person. Do you have anything else that's coming up, or anything else that you'd like, you know, to share?
Absolutely. Oh, I'm just going to feel into that for a moment.
Yeah, please do.
So what's really laid on my heart is that we need to remember that, like you were saying, showing up, and that's enough to show up, to be present and be willing to share who we are. That makes a difference, because it's about connection. It is not about perfection. I'm trying to change that rumor. I don't know where it started, but it's really about connection. Are we willing to be present, make eye contact, make heart contact, and really be present? When we're out there speaking, when we're out there writing, people are looking for connection.
Yeah.
They're not looking for perfect people that look a certain way or act a certain way. They're looking for someone that they can connect with, that gets them and can help them.
Right. Yeah. And really they're looking for you, not the pretend you.
Correct.
I always say, it's like when you go on your first date, do you show up or do you send your replacement?
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Send you every time, and they'll get you every time.
Yes. Beautiful.
And if they don't, they're not for you, right?
Exactly. We can't serve, and we're not designed to serve everyone.
Yeah.
We're designed to serve the people we're called to serve, the people we're called to connect with.
Right. Yes. Oh, yes. I love it. I want to stand up and say, yes, yes, yes.
Woo!
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us. This was such great information. I'm sure our listeners are excited. They probably already Googled all of your information and got on your website and got your gifts. I'm going to. We will post them below for everyone so you can grab them from there. And thank you. Hopefully we'll just see you here in the future and we'll talk more about this and all the success that you've given, all these people. So thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you, listeners, for being on our podcast. Have a great day. Have a sunshiny day.
Thank you for listening to the Inspiration for an Empowered Life podcast, sponsored by the Image Designers. They will help you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. You can learn more about them at theimagedesigners.com or email Holly at hollyporter.com.